What do you mean literally every video had 5 XLNC players in it? That's because the XLNC community is tight-knit. We play a lot with each other. We do a lot together. If you're interested in being part of the XLNC community, you can use that exclamation point Discord to join. But yeah, we end up playing a lot together. We're a pretty good group. If you stick around and play a lot and want to be a part of the League of Legends Club, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And yeah, join us and become part of the Grand XLNC. It's a frat brotherhood, except we have a lot of women as well. I could count off at least 3 that are all part of the XLNC crew. So I would have been, yeah, exactly. The Drift crew, actually, a lot of them changed to the XLNC crew. And there's supposed to be a team. Team Swarm may be joining us as well as an XLNC sponsored team. But we got to talk about this game because it's Team CCC versus Team Redline. Cat Can't Carry, who is going to be playing for the side of CCC, of course. And we got a bunch of XLNC members as well as general stream people. Look at these dedicated players coming in once again. But we do have a new player as well, 16 by the way, joining us for the side of CCC as Big Time Rush is back once again. And we may see a certain champion not get banned this game, as Darius banned away from Seal, Mordekaiser just because he's overall strong in the top lane, and Lee Sin banned against, I want to say, probably Dive? I don't know. Wraith, do you know anyone for the side of Redline, Red side, that plays Lee Sin a lot?
No. Yeah, Dive maybe, but no, other than that, no. Interesting. And you're right, Nico, not banned away. Prio picks instead being taken off the table. I wonder... Seal picking up the Karthus for Intra, of course. Making sure to get his hands on that. It's been a while since that one slipped through. We look forward to seeing good things from it.
Yes, exactly. That Karthus, even though Dark Harvest has been nerfed, it's still fairly strong on Karthus. And again, because over time he's going to be stacking up more and more AP damage, it's still really good, as well as Intra just overall is a master of that Karthus champion. Keep in mind, though, if you ban his Karthus in future games, he's probably going to be pulling out that Azir, another champion he's incredibly strong with. There's still one champion that I want to see Team CCC, or Cat Can't Carry, pick up this game. There it is! Yes! 16 by the way, locking in the Thresh. Big Time Rush is actually Cody J's alternate account, and with that, he's going to be sneaking in his Thresh. Now, the last time that he played, it wasn't exactly jaw-dropping plays, but maybe he just needed to get warmed up because he hasn't played Thresh on stream
last time he played, his team was straight inting. Of the 4 kills his team got, 3 of them were his, and he had an assist on the other one.
As Arcane Vixen grabs the Ahri. Interesting choice. Usually Arcane Vixen is an 80 carry, playing the Xayah a lot. This time going to be taking to the mid lane with that Ahri, as Zeno grabs Irelia, most likely for the top lane. But as always, these teams are regulars for the stream, and they enjoy taking things in some weird roles, as we may be seeing Cat and Nader on something other than Talia. Finally, Talia banned against him. Redline taking him off the table super early. It's about time.
Yeah, I was wondering, because every time he's played that, he's gone like 14-2. And nobody bans it.
We fear the shadows.
Why? The world may never know. But finally the stream has kicked in. They have understood. And the Thalia taken off the table. Kaisa also banned. Though the Xayah is not banned away. And I know that's a comfort pick for Arcane Vixen, who might stay with the Ahri. Oh no, it's going to be Cat Nader and Big Time Rush.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom lane, no question about that.
So Cat Nader, he is an 80 carry main, so we'll see which one he decides to grab as he's looking over a couple options. Goes with the Jhin and looking for those crit 4th shots, which are still fairly potent, though not nearly as potent as most people probably want. with those lethality nerfs. We'll still see what Otter decides to grab. We're looking for the side of Redline, a supportive champion. Otter could go with more of the AP role, looking for some burst, and he might actually be looking instead for the tank. Wants a front line, and someone that Jax and Graves both have a little bit of mobility could join the Alistar, diving in, setting up some CC combos with that Counter-Strike on the Jax. It could be pretty potent.
Yeah. Let's see. So Lucian and Alistar is a really powerful lane here. Looking forward to seeing that go into... Now, of course, Thresh does have the ability to deny that engage if he's quick, and we do know Cody J is experienced on this champion. So I'm looking to see the Thresh position in front of his Jhin. Now, if Alistar wastes his headbutt, at that point, the priority then lands in the hand of the Jhin and Thresh lane because the counter engage from Alistar no longer can go through. But other than that, the counter engage from Dive and Otter is just so strong. And the burst damage so much that it's definitely a winning lane for them. I'm looking to see Intra's Karthus really pop off this game. It's been a while since he's gotten that, and it's been banned against him for a reason, let's be honest.
We got two people on their mains. Karthus picked up by Intra and Thresh picked up by Cody J, so excited to see how they do. I also like the Xin Zhao on the side of CCC, but I'll talk about that after rolling through the players and their champions. For the side of Cat Can't Carry, we've got Xeno on the Aurelia in the top lane. 16 bide away with the Xin Zhao in the jungle. Arcane Vixen on the Ahri in the mid lane. Catinator on the Jhin in the carry role. And Big Time Rush with that Thresh bottom lane supportive role.
And for Team Redline, we've got Deceased Seal on Jax in the top lane. Boxy taking Graves in the jungle. We've got Intra on his specialty Karthus in the mid lane. Dive taking Lucian in the bottom lane. And XLNC Otter rounding it out with Alistar in the bottom lane supportive role.
Yeah, for the side of CCC, what I want to talk about with Xin Zhao is their pick comp looks hella good. With Thresh hooks, Ahri charms, and Xin Zhao engages, Audacious Charge could really set up very nicely a bit of a snowball on the early side, which could lead into better fights later, especially if you can out-roam an Alistar. That's going to be the main thing I'm looking for CCC to do, is be able to kind of avoid Alistar because his early game setups are so incredibly strong, especially if he has that backup of one of those damage dealers, Graves, Karthus, or Lucian. So I'm really looking for Xin Zhao to try to make some plays, maybe with a roaming Thresh as well, maybe around that mid lane. If you can punch Karthus down fairly early on, stop him getting a bunch of minion CS, slow his scaling towards that mid game, you may be able to find some opportunities to get enough picks that you can start to snowball the game overall.
Certainly. Are there any other matchups that I'm really interested in seeing? I'll be honest, top lane is not my specialty, so I'm not quite sure about the Aurelia and Jax matchup. We do know that Seal is pretty much good at everything in the top lane as it applies to bruisers. So the trading patterns from Jax and Darius are fairly similar in that, or the fundamental ideas of when to trade are generally stay the same. Xin Zhao is going to have priority in the early game. Probably even go in and invade Boxy if he really wanted to.
Yeah, so we'll still look for those ganks from the junglers. Graves, one of the pretty bursty champions in that jungle, besides maybe a Kha'Zix or something, can do crazy amounts of damage. And the great thing about him in particular is that he's got great lane setup. When you've got a tanky Alistar that's going to be able to dive in and provide the CC, or a Jax that can go in and find a counter strike to stun up the enemy team, Graves can then come in and he doesn't need to bring CC of his own. He's just looking to deal that extra damage and make sure they can shut down whoever it is that's on the opponent's side. Really curious to see how these laners do. And once again, if we get some of that early game aggression, trying to go into the enemy team's jungle, picking off some early game kills, we'll see how these teams decide to break it down, because I don't know. I feel like the side of Redline could, especially with that Jax, if he takes Counter-Strike first, could try to just find a invade that sets up that Graves a little bit earlier. If he gets a 3-buff start, he's going to be really strong.
Yeah. I don't know about the early game invade strategy. Alistair doesn't really come online until 2 unless he burns Flash. Lucian's decent level 1. I mean, it's kind of a wash as to the level 1s, and the invading side is always at the disadvantage because they don't know if they've been spotted or not. It's definitely a risk, but putting that 3 buff in the hand and getting him ahead in farm would be a good way to go about it. Ganking is going to be the key to this game, though. Bot lane, I feel like, is going to be decided mostly by ganks. Mostly on the fact that you have high CC early game bullies in both positions. Thresh has the ability to cancel out Alistair, but Alistair, if Thresh goes in, has the ability to just dump on the enemy ADC. So it's kind of a wash, and it's mutually assured destruction at this point. Whoever goes in first is probably gonna get the worst end of the trade.
Well, we got CCC looking to go straight in as 5 members. I don't think that actually was seen by that Karthus. They're all grouping here. Oh, we got a little bit of dance off. Is it the dance party? Oh, look at this fan mastery. The VM, so delicious. I don't think Arcane Vixen, maybe she did have it and was just late to the party with it. Either way, that looked so good. Oh my gosh, that was a clippable moment, guys. That was awesome.
That was probably the best swag drop we've seen on the stream so far. Well done, guys. Well done. Now let's see if we can back up those mastery points with
a win, right? You want that big W for your team. Keep in mind, guys, these teams could be potentially setting up for when in January we start running a lot more team events. We're going to be trying to do some mini tournament series and making sure that things are fun. Wait, Thresh. Oh, he actually dropped a ward in there earlier, so he saw the bottom laners from Redline, throws out the mastery, says, I know you're in there, scaring you off. Okay, actually, hold on, I'm going to comment very quickly on that, as Arcane Vixen gets dropped very low in the mid lane, sidesteps one Skittle, but hit by another, introduces one more auto attack, but he walks away. This is so good out of this Karthus, and why Interest Karthus is so feared on the stream. Is Big Time Rush actually going to be joined by Xin Zhao. He flashes forward, finds the hook. Is Intra going to go down as the first blood? Flashes underneath the turret. The slow from 16, not going to be quite enough, and he is able to escape for the moment as the Counter-Strike from Jax comes down to Xeno in the top lane, dropping the Aurelia down to about half. As Aurelia both drinking those corrupting potions, happy to trade back a little bit of damage. That Thresh gank in the mid lane was actually pretty nice.
Yeah, that definitely balanced it out, forcing Intra to go back as well and match Arcane Vixen's back, so he doesn't end up a ton of that experience. Gold not quite as important in the early game as experience is. If you're down a whole level, generally speaking, what the stats gained from a level are worth more in gold than what you gain in experience, or are worth more in gold than what you would get from a champion kill.
And a lot of that comes out of that you're going to be trading a lot of CS. So as the Alistar is going to try to gank in the bottom lane, he finds the knockup, but he's dragging himself underneath the turret. That turret's just going to come through. Otter goes down. No way. It follows him all the way out despite his flash. And Dive even used the heal as well. So a clean kill on that bottom side from Nice Hook from Big Time Rush. He's going to be stepping forward. This is what we wanted to see out of the Thresh. Gets the flay, the hook, the death for the Lucian. He's going to go down. Catinator picks it up with the 4th shot in the top side. Jax is able to trade 1 kill onto Aurelia before going down himself, burning that ignite, making sure that Aurelia was finished off. And man, I still haven't talked about the Thresh walking forward on that bottom side at the very beginning of the game, throwing out the Mastery Swag, causing the bottom side from Redline to actually walk to lane, was really good because it meant that they had a clear way to move through that tri-brush into lane to be able to start picking up CS, whereas they otherwise would have had to walk all the way around by the Krugs to get to lane, which could have meant that they lost a bunch of minions, at least those first 3 caster minions in experience. So I think that even though you're kind of showing off a little bit, it was a wise move, and that allowed them just to walk straight to lane, and now they've got 2 kills on the Jhin as well.
Yeah, what I really wanted to... Cody J's hook right after the Alistar engagement. Exactly what I was talking about in Champions. So like the person who goes in first, hold on a second, Boxy's here.
Oh, person who goes in first, Arcane Vixen, finds the charm, but is not going to find any kills as she's been burning her own flash to get back to the tower safely, as Intra is just able to land those Qs again and again. And he really sets up nicely with that wall of pain as Baki's going to come around, but he is seen by a ward though, so Arcane Vixen should be able to get out fine.
Yeah, but Cody J landing that hook right there manages to pull the Alistar underneath the tower, and then Catinator follows up immediately with the snare, locking him in there for 3 of those new tower shots.
Charm from Arcane Vixen, but she's got no mana. Intra's got plenty of mana, just needs 1 more Q to land. Throws out a little bit of AoE damage and auto attack as well, but he's got so little mana. He's going to be taking 2 tower shots as Xin Zhao, 16, looking for the engage. Intra, bit speedy though. He can't get back to the base in time. He's got the boots. He throws down the AoE, getting a little bit of damage. The turret's not going to come through. Will it be enough? It's not. Nice healing from 16. Keeps himself alive, and he is able to pick up the kill off of Intra. 4 kills to 1.
Good capitalize there on the overextension, going for that mid lane kill. Hold on, we've got another in-game.
Oh, nice little shield from Xeno. Keeps him from taking too much damage from C on the top side, but I don't think the Jax is going to care too hard. Burns the flash and then hops to the minion to get out. Nice moves as Xeno struggling a little bit on that top side versus the Jax.
Jake, you know what I just realized?
What's that?
I'm sitting here in a suit, and my webcam's not working.
Your webcam not even on. You could be in pajamas for all we know, as the snare's going to come down to the bottom lane. Dive forced to flash away, but Catinator steps forward to get the last hit, and now Otter is going to be in a spot of trouble. Finds the stun, but he's been flayed back. The hook could be set up by the Thresh. Does he even need it? He tanks the turret, so the Jhin can get a double kill. Now 4-0, and Cat can't carry. It's looking like Cat may be able to carry after all, because, man, he is doing so well. He saw the Caitlyn last game, said, hold on, let me show you my Jhin.
Yeah, this is a well-played Jhin, but equal amounts of credit have to go over to Cody J. Sorry, big time rush on this Thresh, setting up the advantage. The problem with all-in type supports is that if they're at a disadvantage, they're entirely worthless. Alistar not going to really be much of a factor right now. Hold on, Arcane Vixen landing the charm right there.
We've seen Arcane Vixen do that a couple of times, but it's Intra that responds with the Wall of Pain straight into those lay wastes. Yes, that is what it's called. Straight into the lay wastes, which just kind of caused
Skittles
Ari
of
to
death is what you mean.
Yeah, have to walk backwards and avoid it, as the Infernal Drake picked up by CCC just scales them a little bit further ahead, as they're already sitting at a nice 2,500 gold lead.
Feed the rainbow, taste the rainbow. Sorry. Anyway, so we've got a roam by the support toward the mid lane, but Karth is smelling something fishy, decides to back off and hide behind his turret. Meanwhile, top lane, C-Steel looking for a trade, not going to find it with the Counter-Strike, and Catinator just kind of sitting bot, trying to...
Boxy, though, in trouble.
Out.
He's got no mana. Flashes. Oh, the hook still lands. No way. Big time rush for the play. And Boxy's going to go down. Now Dive in trouble as the blast comes in. He's going to be able to use his Alistar. Knocks the Xin Zhao away. 2 shots from the curtain call by the Jhin. Going to try to line up a couple more shots onto Karthus. He's going to step forward aggressively. He's got 2 more shots available. The 4th shot should be enough to take out Intra. Able to get it. And now Catinator exhausted. Going to be hit by a couple of the lay wastes and the ultimate. Still not enough to get the kill of 16. Trying to find the engage. The knockup from Alistar slows down Xin Zhao. He's still going to chase in. Dive makes it over the wall, but still goes down. And Arcane Vixen picks up one. Catinator picks up the other. Domination from the side of CCC.
Yeah, this is a pretty impressive display in the early game from the bot side. Hold on, Zeno caught out right now. Deceased Seal with the ignite, just gonna walk away. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and that's a kill in the top lane.
I honest to goodness, actually am starting to feel bad for Seal. And the reason why is that the players that he gets paired with are not necessarily bad players, but it feels like every game that he gets into, he has to carry. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that Seal's in the game, but almost every time Seal plays a game, regardless of who he's playing, who he's
Not
with, or who's in the enemy team, he's got to carry. Well, he's the only one that's got kills. He's the only one that's winning his lane. He's the only one that's actually doing that
you're
well.
right. I thought he was on the other team. Sorry.
No, he's the Jax in the top lane that once again has to put those carry shoes on and says, all right, team, get on my back again.
Yeah, those carry shoes are called Ninja Tabbies, by the way.
Let's carry you into at least the mid game as Alistar gonna get the knockback onto the Thresh. Still gets snared up, but man, they have yet to hit those ult level 6 in the bottom lane as Jax is trying to kill Zeno again on that top side.
Yep, he really strong trades at the moment, even with just Tiamat. Wow, and another really strong chunk. He's getting into tower dive mode, but hold up.
Oh, the stun
Here
comes
comes
through.
Xin
16
Zhao.
coming in, looking for the knock-up. Nice counter-strike. The Jax goes in, finds the kill onto Irelia. He's going to be hit by the turret shot. The knock-up from Xin Zhao keeps him in turret range. So it's another 1-for-1 trade. But again, as Jax still has the only kills for the team. Is Big Time Rush going to find the hook onto the Alistar? He may try to re-engage. Decides against it as he's still sitting on that level 5.
Pretty strong crits coming through from the Jhin, though. Still very strong trades, despite the fact that the Flay not landing right there.
Well, he is he's 6 kills in with the Storm Razors already completed at the 10-minute mark. Has finished boots as well, so feeling pretty happy with where things are at in this bottom lane. Probably one of the better decisions for Redline would just be to let this bottom lane turret go down, but they've got Boxy looking for a gank as the engage onto Catinator grabs the Dark Passage. But he's out, and once again, bottom lane is left empty-handed for Redline.
Yeah, that's the thing. This lane is just so safe, and hold on, this is probably another kill.
Oh, yeah, there's not much Lucian can do. It was a really nice grenade straight into the snare or the hook from Big Time Rush. Bottom lane turret, a couple more shots from going down. The preemptive hook, though, onto the Alistar. He's still level 5. He's got no health to speak of, forced to back up. He's going to stick around, though, which I don't think is the wisest choice, especially when that tower has basically no health to it.
Yeah, Boxy just going to stay down here as well. He's falling so far behind his opposite number. The 4-0 Xin Zhao with 80 CS. He's just sitting in this lane, bleeding XP, bleeding experience. He should be in the jungle farming up, but right now he's just kind of sitting bot lane trying to babysit the tower.
I like this choice from the bottom side of CCC as well. They back away, recalling to buy, saying, you know what? We don't have to take the turret. Let's back, let's buy, let's get prepared for the next Drake that'll be spawning in 15 seconds, which is a second Infernal Drake. And we can still go to the bottom lane turret and pick it up anytime we want. So not concerned about trying to knock it down immediately, and they're going to be instead setting up for the Infernal Drake as Seals being able to take a couple stacks off of the plates from the top lane turret. He wants a kill onto Irelia, and he's going to get it once again. Cool guys don't look at ignited Irelias, and he is still feeling pretty good about himself. The only one carrying for his team is Intra, dropped to half, moves forward aggressively onto Arcane Vixen, but she's got the ultimate going in. Lucian's here. Alistar's got the knock-up. Exhaust comes down as well. Arcane Vixen drops in dive, finally picks up another kill for Redline. Someone else has a kill.
But that's solo turret gold over to the Jhin. 610 turret gold.
Oh, calling comes
nice
through onto
hook out of
Lucian.
the
The hook is really good. The heal as well from Catinator. He finds the root onto the Grace, but he's full health, not too concerned. But 16 is going to try to change that. Steps in. The curtain call from the Jhin. 16 picks up a double kill onto the Lucian as well. Otter's going to be in trouble, stuck between a Jhin and a Xin Zhao. Will be dropping his Intra over the wall, trying to see if there's any opportunity that he can do anything, but he might be his own demise as that fourth shot from the Jhin, who actually flashes the wall. I was going to click over because we got to fight in the top lane. Seal going down with a nice disarm from the Irelia. And it looks like Karthus still was able to be finished off by the Jhin in the meantime.
Yeah, this is pretty disgusting right now.
Double Infernal
Two
Drakes to
Infernal
CCC.
Drakes, 17 kills, 6,000 gold at 13 minutes. Wow. And yeah, there are going to be a couple of turret plates broken in the top lane for the Irelia, who did manage to get that counter kill. But the opposite lanes are so fed. I mean, Cat's legendary at level 9, got 9 kills to his name. I mean, Xin Zhao's not doing too shabby at 6-0 too. And there's like Seal is really the only bright point for his team at this phase of the game right now.
Yeah,
And it's going to be a Rift Herald, and then that's probably going to get stuck right in the mid lane.
even the kill that Lucian was able to pick up wasn't on anyone significant. I don't believe even got shut down gold. So Rift Herald Shelly going to be grabbed by CCC. Happy about dropping that mid lane or top lane, both turrets with heavy amounts of damage done to them. And the main thing to keep an eye on is this Jhin, 9-0-2, paired with that Thresh. They have been unstoppable. Otter, I don't think he's too concerned about where the game is at. Maybe into a little bit, because at the 14-minute mark, when your enemy team is up 7,000 gold, the likelihood of being able to come back is just so slim.
Yeah, especially with a Rift Herald stomping its way down top lane, while two members trying to defend bot.
Yeah, Seal looking for an opportunity and not going to be able to get much onto Irelia as she's going to be able to hold that turret. Jax is sticking around, Lucian backing away. Top lane second tier turret dropped already. The inhibitor turret going to be dropped to half as Otter goes in for the 3-man knockup. Is this the fight that they're looking for as the cage comes through from the Thresh? The ultimate from Boxy doesn't do nearly enough damage, and Otter goes down despite being super tanky. Boxy going to be close to following afterwards. Lucian still hanging around on that bottom side as Seal trying to 1v1 Xeno, does get disarmed, not too concerned about it, playing just on the edge of that turret range. So the members of CCC get that top lane inhibitor and down to about half before backing away as Seal's going to be 1v1 and throws in the counter strike as well. The ignite to finish off Xeno again, 5-3. Oh my gosh, he's got a long ways to go though.
Definitely. Aurelia. Oh. Seal.
That bottom lane turret.
With that turret.
It's shooting so many people from Otter to now Seal.
Yeah, definitely that 1v1 right there. Really the way Aurelia has to play it. She has to bait out the counter-strike, like land the stun, then use the Q to jump to a minion, dodge out the counter-strike, and then go back in. But if she gets stunned, she just gets obliterated by the damage coming through from the Jax.
So who will shut down this Lucian? That is the question. He is
shut down.
Sorry, not Lucian. Shut down the Jhin. I was looking at Lucian and thinking about Jhin instead. Who's gonna shut down this Jhin? 9-0-3 his score line. 2.5 finish items. Looking like what? Static Shiv next, or Rapid Fire Cannon?
Where is he? Definitely Rapid Fire.
Going for that extra range.
The added range on Jhin makes him useful in siege situations for both poking down turrets, because his auto attack range isn't all that long. But once he has Rapid Fire Cannon, one auto attack hurts a lot, especially if you can line up your fourth shot right before a Rapid Fire Cannon.
Xeno, is he going to be able to find? Oh, he cannot find the Jax in time. Seal able to repel.
I don't know if he wants to.
Yeah, that's true. 1-5, that Irelia's scoreline. Not looking so good in the split 1v1.
Oh, definitely. Now, this tier 2 bot lane is another thing that's also not looking too good. While there are members here to defend it, I don't think they want to go for it. That would be Otter's prerogative to pull this trigger right here, but with so many people standing off to the side, they are seen by a ward, so they know this is happening. There are 5 members bot lane. and with such a huge gold lead, almost 10,000 gold.
Oh, the hook comes through onto the Graves. That's the initiation for Big Time Rush. Catinator goes legendary, picking up the Graves. Intra's on the backside, but he can't do hardly a thing as his mana's already been dropping low. 3 members following super quick order, as well as Jin using that curtain call, and Alistar make sure that Ari does fall down. So that's 1 kill back to the side of Redline. In the end, a 2-for-4 trade, and not what you want to see. Seal is going to be taking that top lane second tier turret, so a little bit traded back, but again, let's see how the push on 16, by the way, should be able to pick up the second tier turret himself as well. Traded turrets.
Yeah. So Seal manages to get back a little bit of an advantage, and let's face it, considering had he been there for that fight, it wouldn't have gone any differently, so getting a consolation prize is better than getting nothing. And I think if Catinator face checks Jax, he will still die, regardless of the fact that he has like 10 kills.
Alright, well now the game is completely switched on his head because Otter, the Alistar, has a kill. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the defining factor for the side of Red Team. Once your support starts to take away kills, you're just going to become way too OP. Even though CCC picks up a win Drake, their 3rd Drake of the game, it's pretty much over for them. They might as well go ahead and surrender, because Alistar, Mr. Cowbell himself, has a kill.
Definite. Okay, so Catinator jumping over the wall, stealing away the red buff for himself. If he doesn't, dang if he doesn't deserve it. He has a 1,000 gold bounty on his head and 3 items completed. He's gonna hit like a train.
I think it's actually...
And 2 Infernal Drakes, by the way.
Probably double 1,000 gold. I think even if he dies one time, he'll still have that other 1,000 gold bounty on his head, because you can start to stack up multiple thousands of bounties. 22 kills to 8 spells the game at this point. Almost a 10,000 gold lead for CCC. And yeah, Catinator making really good moves overall this game. I want to mention briefly that these games do stack up the MVPs and honorable mentions, which is something that you want to try to get as many of before the end of the year as you can, as there are $10 RP prizes for those that are in the top spots for both of the MVPs and honorable mentions. As Big Time Rush gonna find the play onto the Jax, gonna be able to kill him as a nice second hook comes through, grabbing Boxy, holding him in place, the calling from the Lucian, able to drop Sin out low, the triple man knockup from the Alistar. This might be the complete turnaround as Boxy is moving forward, but he's at a sliver of health that really goes in. Xeno throws out the disarm onto 2 members, trying to escape. Boxy super low but didn't die. The stun gonna come through onto 2. Xeno really well placed with that one as Alistar's trying to set up for the CC, but I think Xeno may be able to escape. His dive is gonna be engaged upon by the Zinzao over the wall. Xeno's excruciatingly low, but it's a tanky Alistar. He's not gonna have any damage, and Xeno is able to go down in the meantime, or Xeno is able to pick up a kill. In the meantime, though, is actually, I think, used the shield, her W, to avoid the ultimate from Intra, killing him off. And Catinator trying to 1v2 in the bottom lane, exhausted, flashes away, keeping himself alive. This Jin cannot die.
No, I assure you he can. I've been this fed on Jin many times. He can still die. And evaporate, and it's very sudden fashion. Just suddenly poof, and you're like, oh wait.
There's more.
I was immortal.
Oh wait, not quite. All right, 10,000 gold.
You cannot kill me, and
10,000 gold lead has been secured by CCC. They're not going for the Baron yet. They're actually just playing around with a little bit of vision as they're trying to move those ward lines forward. But, you know, Otter's going to step in and say, hey, hold on, we can help clear some of that vision out. There's a lot of wards to pick up, and the rest of the team here to help defend that as well. Gotta say, though, for as fed as CCC is overall, and the number of fights that they've won, they haven't been able to take an inhibitor yet this game, which is kind of the saving grace for Redline, where they can try to make some plays like this. As Otter's going to get stunned up, Boxy not going to be able to save him. Throws the smoke grenade, but it's not going to do enough, as 16 by the way, looking for another engage, maybe onto Intra, floating his way back to the mid lane turret.
Yep. Xeno farm in the mid lane, and with that control board down, this is probably going to be Baron going over. They have no awareness of this right now. There's no wards anywhere near the pit. They don't have wonderful Baron damage, though, so it's only at half health. However, Xeno kind of running interference here, and yeah, this is just going to be a free Baron over.
Not much of an opportunity for Redline to try to steal it away, so Baron goes to CCC, which they're already doing so incredibly well. I got to compliment this Irelia on her stuns. May not be making the best of engages, may have died a bunch of times to Jax, but man, some of those stuns, especially like the double stun in the tri-bush on the top side, really can set apart a fight from, you know, going decently to going really well for CCC.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the other side. While we were expecting Intrus Karthus to absolutely go nuts, that hasn't actually happened this game. Part of that's due to the fact that Cody J and Catinator have just kind of raffle stomped their lane, and in by proxy, Xin Zhao's gotten really fed off ganks. So Intra hasn't really had a chance to show out on his signature champion here.
Oh, one crit from Jin. Drop Boxy to have. Xeno inting with the ult over the side. Says, you know, I don't even need this, guys. It's fine. As the hook comes through onto the Jack Seal, trying to put his carry pants on, but can't do it. It is going to be going down super quick as Otter steps back underneath that inhibitor turret once again in the mid lane, trying to look for a setup for the multi-man knockouts he's been able to do a couple different times, but it hasn't been very successful. And that means that it's time for CCC to engage underneath the turret. They don't care. Otter going to be falling shortly as Intra goes golden, trying to do what damage he can, but he still falls. And that from CCC is the ace, as well as should be the end of the game. Karthus ult not going to do hardly a thing. Beautiful use of that Lock of Iron Solari by the Thresh to make sure that everyone was shielded up through the Karthus ulti, taking out Nexus Inhibitor 1, Nexus Inhibitor 2. They can't get to the Nexus itself because it's the surrender from Redline, saying the game is already over. We'll just speed it up by another 4 seconds. Victory to CCC.
Yeah, surrender coming through at the very last second, and for good reason. That was a really impressive game from CCC. Let's see. It was an unjust loss.
Intra would be 20-0. Intra would be 20-0 if it wasn't for the lagging, getting camped, everything. Which I gotta say though, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching and definitely are new, we do try to keep these teams as even as possible when it comes to rank. But as even as it is, sometimes games are just gonna snowball. And Cat can't carry. Cat obviously said, hey, hold on, look, the name is not legitimate. Let me do just that. But before we get too much further, let's go ahead and run through the MVPs and honorable mentions of both of these teams and talk about what they did do right.
Yeah, so MVP and honorable mention for Team Redline. I think Otter's vision control was really good. Despite being behind, he managed to put down a decent amount of wards, and he did end up making a couple of engages that, while not perfect, didn't end up backfiring on him too bad, and that's about the best you could hope for when you're that far behind. And he was facing up against Cody J and Catinator, so that's a pretty rough lane. So all in all, I think Otter's going to get that honorable mention right there. And then, of course, Seal is getting the MVP right there. The only one not to lose his lane. The only one, the bright, shining star of hope, which was eventually eclipsed by the radiant, crushing, withering dawn that is Team CCC. Speaking of which, you're going to end up getting... I want to give a real quick shout out to Arcane Vixen. We expected her to get stomped by Intra's signature champion, somebody who he has really even put some of the good players against, even some of like the best mid laners on the stream. Intra's given them problems with this champion, and Arcane Vixen, despite not being a mid main, knowledge, held out very well, down CS, but ended up getting some kills to compensate for it, and did not feed the Karthus despite a really bad level 1 trade there. Anyway, so let's see. Oh yeah, and of course, Oh yeah, I haven't given honorable mention out. So 16, by the way, going to be mentioned. He's one of the main reasons Arcane Vixen didn't end up feeding in that lane. That level 3 gank, I think it was, after that miserable trade at level 1 that Vixen ended up taking from Intra, which would have just destroyed the whole laning phase, being forced back that early. She would have been like level 1 to level 4 or something absurd like that. Incredible disadvantage in laning phase.
Wait, really quickly, run through very quickly the losing team, MVPs and honorable mentions. Just the names.
I got Otter as honorable mention and Seal as.
Okay, Otter and Seal, and then you had 16 for honorable mention for the winning team. And have you gotten to MVP yet?
No.
Okay.
I mean, who do you think? It's Catnator.
What? Big Time Rush was so good.
But he's playing Jhin and he's an ADC. So.
Oh, ADC bias comes through. Bias comes through. No, I don't think he does, though.
Seriously, I have to give a really heavy shout out to Big Time Rush. 16 was just such a factor in all lanes, but like Big Time Rush's initial hook flay right there at the very beginning to get the snowball started was really excellent. Anyway. But Catnator getting that MVP, really clean Jhin play. But between the two of them, Cody J and Cat just an obscenely hard lane to play against.
Cody MVP in my heart. Aww. I do gotta say for Cody J, not only did he really do a really good job, but one of the things that you have to have is you can land all the hooks and CC in the world, but if you're not getting the kills, it's not going to do that much. And Catnator knew how to follow up, especially landing the snares at the right time. There's a huge difference between just snaring whoever it is and fresh hooks. It's a much stronger thing to be able to weave those in between auto attacks anyway to then make it stick that much more. And he did a really good job with that. Thank you, Aussie. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. You're more than welcome to join us for game number 4. Which will be after this. It's going to be, ladies and gentlemen, because there are a bunch of people that want to play, we're actually going to be doing a random queue game, which I believe, well, we only have at the moment 6 people who want to play. If you're interested in playing, use that exclamation point join, and we'll try to get you in. But with 6 people at the moment, it shouldn't be hard to get everyone who wants to play in. So we're going to take a quick marbles break as we try to get a full team of 10 to play. And then we'll do a game number 4, and yeah, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy marbles if you're into that sort of thing. If you're not, don't worry about it. You can just laugh along with everyone else.